Good evening, good evening, good evening. I want to say thank you to everyone who is tuning in. But before we get started, if you are in the chat, thank you for being in the chat. But I also want to say click like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I am here with my always Tuesday co-host, Miss Sheena Becton. And we got that guy down at the bottom, Arthur Woodson, who is going to be giving us, is it the tea on everything? Because he was out everywhere. Out and you didn't get arrested. I'm proud of you. Bravo. So, Sheena, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you? It's beautiful here in Southern Carolina.
Okay, yeah, really, you have to rub that in.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous day. Sunny.
Okay,
Nice balmy 80. Well, actually, we're probably not warm today.
oh, good.
How's it going up there in the Flint of
Um,
Michigan's?
it's been raining. It's election day, and it's been raining. It's been raining. It's very weather could have been a whole lot better.
I saw that rain this morning. I was like, oh, Lord, mercy, help them.
Arthur Woodson, explain to those who don't know who you are.
Man, I don't even know where to start. Activist, advocate, been fighting since 2007 for veterans, residents of the city of Flint. Just somebody who cares a lot about the city that I was raised up in, that I still live in, and just want to see things better, and see things through. Still in water crisis, still in a health crisis, still in all kinds of crises. So, that's all I can say right now.
Well, that's a whole lot to say. And I do want to tell you, thank you for joining us this evening. You have been all over today, and literally early this morning as the polls opened up at 7, you were everywhere, even out there reporting. And, I don't even, and maybe we can get that. And to our producer, Landron Hendricks, thank you for last minute. Tanya Burns wasn't on this stuff. Y'all, I spent 45 minutes in the line to get some chicken paid for the Popeyes and didn't get no chicken. So,
man, I'm tired. I'm tired of Popeye's chicken, man. You spend 20 minutes in the line waiting for somebody to come on the intercom. Then when you get on the intercom, you spend 10 minutes waiting to get the chicken. Then you say, forget it, I'm getting ready to run in there, see if it's quicker. Then you stand in that line for 20 more minutes. So that's like 45, 50 minutes right there.
Mm-hmm. That part. But this time I went in, I avoided the drive. And if they ain't got chicken, they ain't got no mashed potatoes. They ain't got mashed potatoes, they ain't got no red beans and rice. They ain't got red beans and rice, they ain't got no biscuits. They ain't got no biscuits, they ain't got no boxes to put your chicken in. If they ain't got no boxes to put your chicken in, they ain't got no bags to put your food in. So I'm just saying. But I didn't have another 45 minutes to give. So anyways, look, if you are just joining us, thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you, AK Comerk 76, Christine Leach, to our moderator, Patrick Jean. And y'all know I can't, y'all, this is moving really quick too. Meat Streets Barbecue. Jeremiah been calling folks early this morning.
Now, Meat Streets Barbecue. What's your barbecue like, honey? I'm from Memphis, so I'm real particular.
With your barbecue?
Barbecue City, yes, because it is trash out here in the Carolinas. It's terrible.
Everybody says that y'all food is bad out there. My sisters say that.
It's so
they came home with a whole food list. Yes. Like they want to go to Big John's. Right. They had a big list. Hey, Reed Johnson, Michelle Young, thank y'all for joining us. So we're going to get to start because Woodson had some jokes. What did you say your little joke about me was?
I'm saying that I hope this isn't a Jerry Lewis telethon because you like to run for nights and days. You know what I mean?
You got jokes. So listen. Hey, Jamie. No, hey, Tara.
Hey, Tara.
And I told you we gonna be on here all night long, like Lionel Richie said. So listen, Sheena, start us off.
Start us off. Where do you want to start?
Well,
hey, you know what? You want me to start you off?
No, she has a flyer to put up.
No, I
Oh,
do. I do. We got a whole little thing. We try to make it professional, okay?
y'all
Just
got
a touch.
And then
y'all
you can jump in.
y'all professional. Uh,
See, here we go. All right, y'all. Today was the day third ward voted in the primary. Let's discuss the road to the third ward election. Today we had 4 candidates that went on and they started off in the polls. Let's see how we got here. Recalls, the ambassadors, the corruption, illegal things, all kinds of the normal sneely things. So let's get into it. How did we get here? Miss Burns, do you want to go into the recalls?
Well, let's put up where we're at, and then we're going to let Woodson get into it because he was literally everywhere. He was reporting to the Americans with Civil Disabilities. So far, Landon, you're going to have to read that. So this is election results. You can go into the Genesee County elections, GC for me, the number 4. You can go on there. And so far, is it 0%, Landon? Can you read that?
Yeah, right now, everything is at 0%. Out of the 4 precincts, it says 0 have reported as of now.
Okay. So we are now at 853, and they don't have any of the results that are up. And so that is on the Genesee County website. It is on there. So tell us about where you started at today, and then we'll kind of move in between that.
So I started at St. Andrews. Me and Jennifer from Mundy Township. Jennifer, she's the supervisor over at Mundy Township. She's great, man. You know, call her. She'll ask, do we need any assistance? Do we need her out there? So she came out to help pass out literature, and so we was over there from 7 to 9:30 because I left to go downtown because I thought that they would be counting absentee ballots. I get to that in a minute, but it was only one person that had voted from 7:30 to 9:30. Then when I went live downtown,
we're at
St. Andrews.
And okay, so 7:30 to 9:30, only one person.
Only one person, and over at Falls Avenue, it was only two people that had voted over at Falls Avenue.
Wow, that's really low.
By 12 o'clock, it was like 15. By 12 o'clock, only 15 people had voted. So I left and I went to Burston. I went over to Burston. Burston had, I went over there about 10 o'clock. They only had about 20-some people, I think about 20 people. They had an annoying recording going on that was bothering everybody. And it was saying, vote for an individual. And the recording was just continuous. And I was live at the time, and people on my live could hear it. And they was like, what is that annoying sound in the background? So I said, oh man, this is crazy. But what got me, you know, you got the post office right across the street from Burston. They had tore up the sidewalk on one half of Burston, and then you had the other half that was good. The workers had
Did
parked.
You get to the door?
Yeah. On one half was tore up, nothing but gravels, and then the other half was good. I videotaped it. Instead of the workers parking across the street over by the post office so that the people with seniors and disabilities would be able to get up to the door, they parked on the good side of the sidewalk. So I called Davina and was telling Davina what was going on. Davina called instantly, called right then and instantly had them to come out and move their cars so the people, seniors and disabilities, would be able to get to the door. Then I went downtown where they was counting ballots. That was about 8 o'clock. Wait, I went downtown about 8 o'clock first from St. Andrews before I went to Burston. and the doors was locked. And I was like, man, so they tried to
did you see the doors were locked at 8:00?
Yeah, I mean 8:30. So
but voting begins at 7 a.m.
But you can't vote down there. You can't vote down at City Hall. It's at the 4th precinct. So what happened? I made a phone call. I was like trying to get in touch because on a normal election day, they start counting absentee ballots at 7 o'clock. So I called 2 different people, and by the time I hung up, I had realized something. I realized, one, City Hall doesn't open until 9 o'clock. 2, it's only 4 precincts, so they don't need all day to count ballots. They didn't start until 12 o'clock. So that's why the doors was locked, because City Hall didn't open until 9, and they didn't start until 12. So that was my fault for getting all, riled up and everything. But when they did start at 12 o'clock, if you look at the video, you'll see a whole different setup from when the last time I went live down there when they was counting absentees. They have 3 new people over absentee ballots now. Gloria is no longer over absentee ballots.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh man. I you know what? When I heard that, I mean, I automatically, went to I got really happy inside.
Yeah, your weight's lifted.
And then the longer that I spoke to the young lady that's in charge.
So who's the young lady that was in charge?
I forgot her name. I see her all the time, right? Huh?
She's at the budget hearings, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. I forgot her name though, but she's a real nice lady.
Yeah.
She tell you, matter of fact, you don't even have to ask her to come over to you. She gonna come over to you and ask you, do you have any questions so far? That's what she kept coming over to me, asking me, do I have any questions so far? I was like, no, I don't have any questions. I love your setup. The thing she has now, right? She has cages for the absentee ballot. When they not working on the absentee ballots or putting the absentee ballots, in the cage or whatever, they lock it up. Nobody has access to the absentee ballots, where Gloria used to just put them in an office and they just was there, and they used to be up there at 2 o'clock in the morning with absentee ballots.
So they changed the process and how they are making it more secure. So when you vote, you don't have people just meandering throughout. It's secure where your ballot goes. So she's worked on her policies and her process and procedures.
Correct. Like, like I said, they had tables in the middle of the council chambers. Now they have 4 tables over on the side, and then they have groups at each table, to where they do the whole process at each table. Then once they're done with that table, they have a runner come pick up the box. Then they have the people over that's counting them. They go through them. They look at them. They inspect them. They put them in the counter. Once they get done counting, they take the absentee ballots and put them in a box that's in a cage that's locked up. So now they lock them up in the cage after they get done counting. I'm telling you, you have to go watch her in action down there.
Because you've seen it when they have hollered out, just put a name down, James Brown.
Man, when I heard that, man, that's on recording too, where they had an absentee ballot and it was out of sequence. And they turned around and said, hey, you know what? We need a name with that ballot. And they just came up with a name and put the name in the voter roll. And it was just a name from out of the blue sky. Matter of fact, 2 or 3 names, just to balance the books, for the voter roll books. But like I say, they was done. They started like 12:30, 1:45, and they was done by 2 o'clock. So right now, All they had to do was count the absentee ballots at the polls and the ones that they got from out of the boxes in front of City Hall and I guess the police station, fire station, wherever those are, and whatever was mailed in that they will count.
So there were over 700 something absentee ballots that were mailed out. How many had they counted?
They had only counted like 325. I think it was 325, 350 at the most.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be a low turnout. Yeah. And third ward is the lowest voting ward in the city of Flint.
Yeah. So the policies, procedure, and practices have changed.
Yes.
And so that's good. So how many is that 0% still voting? Landon, is there any numbers on it yet? Because I can't see it. It ain't big enough for me.
Sorry, I was muted. Right now, the only thing that's coming in is City of Burton Police and Montrose something. So
how can Burton beat? Everybody always beats us in. Seriously. So Burton and Montrose is got numbers on the board. Flint does not. Okay. So let's keep going.
Y'all want to hear something? She read Flint election squad got a award. She read her award off, man. Award letter. They got an award from the government for something for the election. So I guess November they did good in November because it's from November election.
Jamaica said Flint is always last, and she's not surprised. Hey JJ, the newlywed. So let's start off with how did we get here?
Yes, how did we get here?
Sheena.
Well, this started back when Beverly Biggs Levy filed recall paperwork on Quincy Murphy for a multitude of reasons. Unfortunately, Quincy passed in late September. That was last year.
September 28th or 29th.
I think it was the 29th because my birthday was the 28th. I think it was the 29th. So once his recall at first went through, he unfortunately passed away. With his passing, the ballots were already created, if I'm not mistaken. So his name was already on the ballots. And people were already in motion. Things were already in motion to fulfill the recall requirements as mandated by the state of Michigan. And so with his name on the ballots, by that point, Michigan had already said that because of his passing, his untimely passing, that the votes would not be certified. But they turned it back to, the state of Michigan said that the votes would not be certified. But they put the responsibility back onto the city being Davina Donahue. So from there, the election went ahead and went through. And once those results came through, those election results were not confirmed. So let me ask you this: with the election results not being confirmed, when Davina was asked what exactly happened, what was her response?
Her response was the letter that came out that she got a legal opinion, which was from Attorney Kim, worst legal opinion ever. And the legal opinion stated at that point that because you cannot recall a person who was deceased, but Burton had a similar one where they had a person was deceased. They opened up for 7 days, and then they opened up for new people to apply, and then they certified. Davina did the legal opinion. We know that Attorney Kim was in the pocket of Mayor Sheldon Neely. And so that race, Beverly had 589 votes, and then Dumas had 548. Art, you want to speak to that?
I still find it highly upsetting. I mean, it was a whole lot that went on during the November election. You know, they left out a whole precinct. Not only did they, do that part right there, they left the whole precinct out on the ballot. I mean, it was sad. I still feel like that election should have counted because even though Quincy had passed away, it still was a legal. I mean, every other election, like matter of fact, on Mount Morris ballot, the same year, same time, lady named Gail, I think her name was Gail. She was running for treasurer, and she passed away, and they still counted her election.
Right.
So I still don't understand why it would be any different than any other election. Somebody passed away. Once the ballots are printed, it should
Exactly.
be like, all right, it's in motion. Now, if he would have
Exactly.
passed away prior to the ballots being printed, then it's something totally different. But they
Exactly.
give them a time period to where they want, if they want to resign. I mean, resign, or if they don't want to run for that seat. So he didn't. Quincy wanted to run for the seat.
Mhm.
So passing away should have voided out the election. That I
I.
mean,
Mhm.
no. What was you going to say, Sheena?
No, I was gonna say I completely agree because I remember another circumstance where once they say that the ballots are printed and no whatever name is on those ballots, those are the names that are considered in the election. There is no you can't take it back. It's just once they're printed, we're not going back. This is what it is. And if that person who is deceased wins, then you go forward with whatever your state decides to do. However, once those ballots are printed, then that's what it is. I did not understand for the life of me how they could not count her winning that election and saying that the state's not going to certify when my understanding from many other situations was if your name is on that ballot, that's just what it is.
Right.
Period. So I'm
Yeah.
with you on that. That never made sense to me.
And I agree to that. I was not in agreement. I felt that election should have been validated. You had people who had cast their ballot. They could never tell us that we found out that the county and the city were both working on two different maps. It should have never happened. They couldn't tell us how many voters were disenfranchised. There were problems at precinct 10. So those were real issues. And so it looks like from listening to Woodson, they fixed where they had big gaps where the community spoke loud and clear. They never
Mm-hmm.
had cages before. They didn't have their processes and procedures were severely flawed. They
Mm-hmm.
there were people that they were concerned about that they felt shouldn't be touching ballots.
Hey,
And let's just are you cutting me off?
oh no, I'm waiting for you to get done.
No, you weren't. And so and so there were some serious issues with that election. Go ahead, because I'm being kind to my guests.
No, I'm still thinking. Are they fully operating under the charter? Because in the charter it states that every ward should have, I think, what is it, 9,000 people in it. So they had to redistrict because the wards didn't have 9,000 people. Did they? I mean, by them voting and using the old ward, I mean, it's less people if they didn't do that right.
Yeah,
You
well, the
you,
new
you feel what I'm
wards,
saying?
yeah, the new wards do not take effect, and we were told we went to the district redistricting meetings. We went to Lansing actually with Pastor Thompson, me, you,
Right.
yeah, on the bus. And so those boundaries do not take effect until 2026. And so this was a recall under the last election. So therefore would not apply to the new redistricting, which is really redistricting a lot because that ward was short so many people. So that's another reason why you're going to have a very low voter turnout is because that ward had to take from every other ward because literally it is the biggest ward in land mass with it was the fewest people and it's still the biggest land mass and we had to move it's almost like what like 20% of Flint. It's a huge, when you look at the map, it's a huge area. So
Yep.
let's move on to the next slide. So because this has been a long road getting here. I mean, you had the recalls, and I don't know how many recalls Beverly Biggs did. So after that, she filed a lawsuit. Lawsuit filed over Flint City Council third ward election. Sheena, you want to speak to that? Because we
I'm
know
gonna let
Art
you take
did.
that one because that one was.
Well, we're gonna let
That
Art do
lawsuit
it.
was back and forth, so
Yeah,
that
it
one
was.
lost me. They lost me on that one.
Wow. That one, Art, go ahead.
They lost me on
They
that one.
lost. Hey, ain't that the one with the... I'm
So
sorry, man.
the
You
lawsuit
know,
was filed too because of the not having the city clerk certified, and that I think I don't know if it's I
I
think it went
mean,
on
which
the
one?
Supreme
I
Court,
mean, they done
and the
lost. They
Supreme
done found so many. They done found Lintos done found so many lawsuits and lost. I ran out of which one.
so
Which one was this?
we gonna get
Is
on
this the
bypass.
second?
Thank
State
you.
I'm sorry.
elections
Thank you.
said state
I'm,
elections they upheld it. I believe this one went to the highest court and they upheld what the city clerk because it was really what they stated the city clerk's choice to move forward on this. And so she chose not to because she had a legal opinion from Attorney Kim. Words legal. Let's go on to the next slide.
my fault. I'm sorry.
You're
No,
good because
you're
this
good.
one lost
You're
me
good.
because I know that there was an issue with it being filed in the wrong courts and
Yeah.
it just was a lot. Like they lost me on that one. The lawsuits just that I was totally confused with.
Okay. And so road to fulfilling
You was confused.
Flint's third ward city council seat is uncertain. So we had a lot of questions that had come up. They're talking about boundaries, where people lived. Then they stated they were digging up things that really didn't apply. And so it has been a long road to filling the third ward and getting people. We still have not, we're supposed to pick a third ward person. We're 4 and 4. And I want to state this very clearly. The misconception to say that the other 4 are together is just utterly ridiculous. It is a very bad misnomer for people who have started to believe that we vote not only on we vote for the people. The other ones vote for themselves. So that's speaking of Jonathan Jarrett, Dennis Pfeiffer, Jerry Winfrey Carter, and myself. And the last day, I told them to go ahead and go home. We were all coming back. All I needed was 5 votes. So I want to get that misconception where people are literally telling a lie. No, they're not together. They're not. That's not true. And we don't need no more confusion because it's enough that's going on. People are fighting the wrong people. It doesn't make
Tanya,
sense to me. Yeah, go ahead.
Tanya, let me say this to you. One, I wouldn't even respond because here's the best thing about being an elected official. One of the main things that people look for in the elected official is to make sure that they are independent thinkers and that they do things that's right for the people, not right for a clique. And if you step out and you want to vote for something because it's right for the city, that's what you do. We sit back and we have issues with the other 5 that's cliquish and doing everything, for nearly. But then over here, they don't want you to be an independent thinker, but y'all gonna battle because over here you're doing what's right for the people, and the majority of the time, 98% of the time, y'all gonna be voting together no matter what anyway. Y'all don't even have to call each other because y'all know what's right for the people. But don't allow people to take you out of who you are as far as being an independent thinker. I don't agree with you sometimes. I'm gonna say, what it is, and hey, I agree with your decision, how you voted. But at the same time, that's your vote, and that's the reason why you wanted to vote for it is your business. But I might not agree with it. But at the same time, I'm not gonna say, oh, those 4 over there, they da da da. No, man, it doesn't work like that. Everybody's asking for an independent thinker, and we want people who is for the people, not for cliques and not for groups. This is my group. This is my clique. And I'm just that's just me. That's just me.
No, and that's why you're there, because you have your own independent thought, and that's what it is, and that's what we should have, because you can learn something from somebody else. This race has been so pivotal that you need 5 votes. You need 5
You
positive
know,
votes for the people.
the sad part. My battery running low, and I don't have my charger with me. But I just wanted to say this, man. Flint is so messed up, man, in thinking wise. You have people that just now got involved with politics, especially because of the water crisis. But then after the water crisis, you had COVID, where people had to sit at home and watch the internet and watch city council meetings and watch this, watch that, right? The issue that I have is that the people that does have a platform or can speak out, they ignorant. Here's the problem that I have, right? You want two, and here in Flint is nonpartisan. They take the 2 top vote getters and they go to the general election. Because I barely heard anybody talk about Miss Johnson. I barely heard anything.
I don't know what her platform is even about, and that was a big issue. The
And I mean,
Yes.
and you never heard anybody say anything about her, really. I heard more about Dumas than I did about Johnson. Why would you cut off Dumas and go after Dumas instead of Johnson? At least we know Dumas would be better than Johnson. Even if you don't trust him or whatever the case may be, we know that Dumas isn't running around with Sheldon Neely. So why would you go after AC Dumas? Why won't you go after Johnson and try to get AC Dumas and Beverly Biggs in? At least we know we got a 50% chance at that 5th vote with Dumas, or however you think about it. 50% with Beverly Biggs, however you think about it. But we have 2 candidates that we know Sheldon Neely does not like, and that he's not rooting for. So why would you do that? I mean, our anger, our hate, our misconception, our misinformation, all that messes us up because of some fact we are dumb we just don't do research.
That was my biggest critique of the campaign strategy. Was it should have been the focus should have been, we need to get Beverly and AC in. Anything but LaShawn. If that's the case, if that is what the voters want, it should be AC, it should be Beverly. There never should have been any kind of mudslinging or anything, or any kind of confusion between those 2, because we know with the primary that 2 people have to go forward to the general. So it should have been, we want it to be between the 2 that we know will keep that 5th vote safe and in favor of the residents and what they want and what they need. That was my biggest critique of the strategy, or lack thereof, and what the 3rd ward, those who were constituents who were speaking forward and speaking out about Beverly Biggs and AC Dumas, however they voted respectively. That was my biggest critique, was understanding that there was no strategy, and it just didn't appear that anyone really understood that this is a primary. You're going to have 2 people who will go into the general in August. We don't want it to be AC and LaShawn, or AC Beverly Biggs, Levy, and LaShawn. We want those chances to be at least these 2 people in the general that they have to vote for are going to be voices that will lean towards the residents and what they want and need. So that was definitely my biggest critique of what the strategy was, because it didn't seem like there was a good, strong platform from anyone. I didn't really see anything that spoke to what the goals were for the ward. I didn't really see much as far as media presence when it came to, even social media presence. I'm an older millennial, so for me, I get a lot of my news from the news, old school wise, and just from social media. So the platforms, they didn't seem to really stand out. I feel like a lot of the infighting and a lot of unnecessary stuff just clouded what the purpose was and what the goals were for the 3rd ward. So anyway, that's my little soapbox outside looking in.
No,
kind of speak.
no, no, that wasn't just a soapbox. And one of the things that for me that people needed to understand was, let's start taking care of the people.
Mm-hmm.
And taking care of the people means let's stop and make sure that they're not continuously getting all the funds for the city of Flint. And that's
Mm-hmm.
where, we have got ARPA, that they're getting ARPA. They're getting, and it's going to be another a divvy up a payment with ARPA. It's going to happen. Because we look, every time you ask Judy the question, Ernst and Young is not even taking our questions anymore or calls. And so when we have council members who have gotten their resolutions voted on, and they're gonna come back to be voted on again, because Liddell has went for not once but twice. She has gotten funds to hers, 25,000, then 50,000. People were concerned. I mean, and these are just not little chump change, when the residents haven't gotten anything. And so that was some of the issues that we've got to stop it with 5 votes and to be smart about it. And with coming together with the election, when I ran, and I want to be very clear, there were, I think, 4 other people that was in my race. It was Chris Del Maroney. It was Claudia Perkins. It was Leslie Haney. It was Teray King. And and then me. So total of 5 people. And so they had enough people in there to split up those votes. Mayor said very clearly to me and to others that um, he did not want me. He was telling people, don't vote for her, like right in front of me. But what I did was partner with some other people. A lot of them didn't want to. They thought, okay, I could win this on my own. And Chris Del Maroney was one. Teray King didn't want to partner up. He didn't want to say, okay, if I win, I'll endorse you. He did not endorse me. He did not. Chris Del Maroney did, like in the end part. Leslie Haney was straight Neely. And Claudia was mad at me for 2 years. So she just now speaks to me, And so that strategy just doesn't, people forget what the goal is. And when you are running, they forget that. So Michael Clack, can you put Michael Clack's statement up there? So I went to these people, and let me tell you, and when I won, I won my primary and I won my general. I called each person that didn't win and tell them, thank you for running a great race. If it's anything you ever need, let me know, because that, you're courteous, and that's what you're supposed to do. But people get in their feelings, and when you have the heart to run, I call people and to tell them, because they still have people who voted for them. So Clark put, that's one of the reasons that compelled me to give that forum. The candidates haven't been able to really voice their platforms because the media isn't covering it. That's true. That's true. And so when you're going into those races, you get a lot of people to say, and I'm going to say this, when I lost the first time I ran for city council, and I ran against, there were several people that were in that race. I did call the person up, and I told him, I said, look, I will support you. I lost the race. And I said, well, I'll support you. And I did. And then what did I needed to do to keep that going in the best interest of the city of Flint and of our ward. And that is the thing that, that's how you do politics. That part you have to do. But getting back to Michael Classic, people don't have people have to create you have now social media. Clark gave a wonderful forum. He even had real food, y'all. Yeah. Snacks, drinks, fruit, water. He had a very good questions, and you didn't have to be rehearsed. If you knew it, just watch city council, you will be able to answer all of those questions effectively. You just would have, if you didn't watch and follow or understand what was going on, then you wouldn't have been able to answer them, because they were basic questions. What's been going on for the past 10 years didn't change. It was just the people who were in the seats. And so his questions were they weren't hard. He didn't say what's on What's on in the charter for decorum? Page, what page is it on? It's page 26. What section? Section 3, that's 01. What does it say? That you must treat each other respectfully. And his questions were very general, general questions. So is there anything in yet?
So for right now, we still have 0% in reporting for Flint council member, 3rd Ward. Now I will say that Burton, Montrose, Bentley, Graham Blank, Davison, everybody else got it together. So
wow.
Yep,
wow. And this so you got Montrose, Burton, Bentley, and what else?
Davison.
They got results up, at least some results.
Yep, they got Somerville, Kersley, Bertrand. So yeah.
And Flint doesn't have anything.
Flint's right up there with 0.
So and this is and you know, this was just one word. The 3rd ward, Arthur Woodson has dropped off. Y'all, he didn't charge his phone up. But Arthur, if you charge your phone up, we're still on. You were welcome to come back. Flint does this all the time. You know, we got everything that you need to have done. Why are we so, you know, she's got a full staff. Why are our results so late? And it's just crazy to me. So,
and all of the absentee ballots were counted today earlier, like
at 7 a.m. That was probably done in 30 minutes because at 7 a.m. they were counted and they went into a machine that counts them, and that probably took 30 minutes. You know, it wasn't but 325, 700 and something were sent out. So what does that say about voters? Were voters not enthused about this race? Because, you know, you had half returned them, half didn't. And that's really sad because this race is so important. It's so important. And they did not, you know, people didn't, they didn't take it, you know, serious and here it is. The people that need to have Beverly Biggs or AC Dumas in those seats are the ones that most needed to vote. Those are the people that needed them because they're voting on their own stuff. So can you put up some of the resolutions that they're to show? I don't just say what I'm, you know, and I sent you some of them in Messenger. So this one right here is, you know, and then you got to blow them up. Can they go? Can they go out that way? Landon, how much is that one?
Hey, look,
I can't see it.
I loaded them straight on in. Here, give me 1 second. I'll make it bigger.
So this one, and this is them voting on their own. So ARPA funds were for the entire city of Flint. We have got council members who have their own nonprofits that they originated themselves and that they incorporated themselves. So he's singing a little to-do.
I didn't even know I was still on the thing. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna back it up. And I'm gonna figure it out.
Can you say it, Sheena? Read it out.
Hold on, I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back in. Hold on, give me 2 seconds.
I can't tell him my eyes. Oh, Sheena, you don't have to read.
You said my eyes.
My eyes.
I was trying to let him get his little thing together. I was trying to give him a chance.
Okay, Sheena, can you read it?
It's still
please.
Okay, well, this is the resolution approving allocation of ARPA funds for Cyrus Park Neighborhood Association for the park revitalization in the amount of $25,000. So this was Liddell voting for Liddell.
Liddell voted, and this was just one. This is a resolution that passed. She originated Cyrus Park in August of 8/21. When she, I believe, got her first disbursement, her nonprofit had been revoked. So that's why she out there with them bullhorns, you know, with LaShawn. I mean, look, this is, and I'm not saying what I think. There was a lady called and told me LaShawn was telling her Liddell was the money lady. And that's how she got that siding on that house. That she told her, all you have to do is say that you have a kid in the house that you babysit and you can get new siding on your home. This is what the lady, and I got her number. The lady turned them into the state of Michigan. And so this one was the 25. Let's go to the next one, please. They getting paid. This is what we're doing. Said third ward is mostly seniors. They don't do podcasts. So people have to knock doors. Is this what we're doing? I knocked so many doors. I'm going to tell y'all. Every election I ran, I buy a new pair of pink tennis shoes. And by the time I finish, them tennis shoes, they'd be broke down, y'all. I'm just saying. So
let me address that also. If third ward is mostly seniors and they don't do podcasts, this is, like you said, this is where canvassing and phone banking come in. What did any of the candidates do any canvassing or phone banking? Like you said, knocking doors, flyers. I know Beverly Biggs Levy did have a flyer that went out, but did it speak to her platform and her strategy and goals for third ward?
She had a couple different flyers that went out, which was her platform. I don't have them with me, but she had a couple different mailers and flyers. I did not see AC Dumas's flyers. But he sent out, I believe, mailers. I didn't see LaShawn's either. And Rich Jones just said, "Hey, show me the money." So,
right. But also going back to the forums, Clark did hold a very nice forum. I thought it was well put together. I thought it was very well organized. And I think this also goes back, and I hate to say it, but this goes back, we have to speak to the infighting and things that are happening that are dividing the community to the detriment of the community. When Beverly Biggs Levy had her forum that happened right before, a few days before Clark, I believe Jedediah Brown and Winters Hall of 810 News Media Group, they held their own. I hate that the others did not take the opportunity to show up. In spite of all of the things that are happening, you are running for an elected seat. You need to be wherever there's a camera and wherever there's a microphone to speak to your platform, your strategy, and what your goals are for that community. We don't know who's watching and who's not watching. So there should have been enough information, at least for that person to get there, record their answers, and maybe use it on their social media platform or use it for a postcard or a flyer to be able to speak to what their strategy and their goals were for the third ward. Then the next forum was with Clack, where it was just Rich Jones and just AC Dumas. And I, unfortunately,
so are you saying that you wish everyone had, do the forums and everybody show up?
Yes, everybody show up regardless.
Everybody should. I believe all the candidates should have went to, no matter what forum. Absolutely.
Regardless, the platform or whatever, you need to be wherever there is a microphone and wherever there's an opportunity for you to speak to the people in mass, against you, for you, whatever. You don't know whose interest you may pique, or when you speak to whatever your goals are. You don't know what they may hear that they may like. And so when Clack had his forum and he had Rich Jones there and AC Dumas there, and unfortunately, I think Beverly Biggs Levy, Mrs. Biggs Levy was able to attend because she didn't feel well, and I don't know what LaShawn's reasons were. However, it would have been nice to at least have her there, and I believe that at LaShawn's forum that Jedediah ended up attending, we didn't see anything about that. So, all of the infighting works against the best. I feel like this is a prime example of what it looks like when it does not help. Because you have all these separate situations that are happening, and they could have at least bounced ideas off of each other, and we could have seen a more cohesive strategy to make sure that AC Dumas and Beverly Biggs Levy went to the general, because that's what needs to happen if we want to ensure that voice is focused on the third ward residents. And that was another critique that I had listed here. I just wish that they had taken that opportunity, even when Beverly Biggs Levy when she was at the council chambers, which she's always there. She's not an unfamiliar face. We know that she's always there. When the Dalton residents came in on the bus with for Jedediah, and the whole dancing gate, when the bishop got up there lying and telling his whatever tales and fairy tales and folklore about what happened at the council chambers, I wish that she had gotten on the mic to speak to the residents, to at least encourage them to come down. That's familiar territory for her. that is familiar territory for her, where she could have been able to speak and encourage people to come down and be a part of the chambers at least weekly. Because what happened the next time there was a meeting? Nobody was there.
So I do want to say this. I agree. I think that we need to have, if it's a forum, and I'm gonna tell you, I miss some forums that I'm like, what am I going to these forums for? Okay, going to forums where you know they don't like you. I went to one forum, nearly gave him my award. They gave us a 3x5 index card to write the questions, and of course, he was sitting with the candidate. Mayor Neely was same thing he did to LaShawn. He did, I mean, to Beverly and Dumas and them, and he did it with LaShawn. He had Claudia Perkins with him. Claudia Perkins was everywhere with him. She sat in the front. He introduced her. He said, vote for her. He did all. But you know what I did? I went to the damn thing anyways, because I was in it to win it. Okay? He was telling people, don't vote for her. You can vote for you. Do what I said. He was doing that. But I went to every forum. So A10 News Media Group and Michael Clack have forums. Everybody should have went to every forum.
Everybody should have been there.
They should have went to both forums. Now, they just should have. And that's what I went to forums knowing they look right. I had to write my questions down on the card. I prayed when I got in the car, and I was like, I'm doing this. I'm not giving them the opportunity to say I wasn't there.
Right.
And I didn't. And you ain't there for a popularity. You there to speak to the people. And everybody should have went to the forums. That's for all of them. That's for all of them. So is this the 50,000? This is the deal. So now we're up to 75,000. They vote to give themselves their own money. I do not believe that Beverly Biggs and AC Dumas would vote to give nonprofits. They ain't even got a nonprofit. They own nonprofits money. We know the game with this. They vote to do. Those who did it should be in prison. And I'm not taking that back. They should be.
Absolutely. Yep.
That part. And so let's go on to the another one. I sent you. Can you just cycle those through for me? I think there's one where in yellow. Oh, no, here we go. Candace Mashette, 7th Ward. She has a nonprofit she's affiliated with. And she will lie and tell you she doesn't. Now, y'all remember Ed rolling up there like he was one of the, what's that, the 5 heartbeats? And he had his hands up like, hey, that wasn't us. Look, we ain't got nothing to do with this. I thought he was on one of the 5 heartbeat singers when, what's his name, slid to the front about a house. What? Is there something
in his case, it'd be one of the 5 heart murmurs.
That part, I was like, look at Ed that slid on up there. And this disclaimer. Is there a house in the house tonight? Stand up. And I was like, okay. So she slid her little $300,000. That's 300, 000. 300,000. She voted yes on this in committee to send it to council. And then her best friend, Liddell Lewis, voted to table it because they knew they had a problem with the administration. Like, hey, now y'all causing attention to us. Y'all have folks looking at us. Y'all done put 300,000 because they was worried about getting their money because they knew that Quincy had been recalled. So they wasn't going to let their money not be given to them. And so that was something, when she put that up there, she did vote on, don't let her tell y'all that lie. That's why I have the resolution number 240141, the day when it was presented, the amount, the account number, the name, and she sent it. Then it's on video where Ed was like, hey. And so that
the writing was on the wall for Quincy too. And they knew it. Like you said, the writing had already been on the wall because we'd already been saying, no, Quincy, you're done. And she tried to slide. Yeah, you were absolutely right.
Yeah. And so what do you think they would go back to doing? That 5th vote? Oh, it's going to slide through like a hot knife going through a real stick of butter. It's going to pass through easily. I'm just telling y'all. And so this is why I put up the facts. So put up the next one because there's so much money on the table, y'all. They're going to come up with some new stuff. They also have got, here we go. Here, show me the money. Here we go. Maine Institute. This is Leon L. Lamine. He wants $150,000. Now he just put in for community block grant dollars for 100 and something thousand. You know, which how you a councilman getting block grant money when the residents and other ones don't get nothing? This ain't the business. Then go back to being regular old Leon with the nonprofit who did homes for returning citizens, which we can actually vote on. So he didn't put this on here. You know, this is the ARPA though. He want ARPA, he want community block grant, he whatever is the pot of money he wanted, okay? So Maine Institute. Can we do the next slide? Because I'm showing y'all everything in yellow means this is approved by their bogus illegal ARPA committee, okay? And I ain't changing that because I spoke to y'all about that. And when was it? Maine Institute was founded in 2015. You go look on the IRS, what's the name, and look at that. How much did he want for this one? $150,000, y'all. This is from my ARPA spreadsheet from City Council that I'm sharing with y'all, being transparent with y'all, because y'all are the public, okay? As we should be transparent. Now, it irritates them to the high ends that I share this, because this is y'all money. And I need residents to be participants in the betterment of your own life. He want $150,000. So they out here campaigning for these votes. You know, they want them. And we have got to start coming to, that's why I said and stood on it. I want AC Dumas and Beverly Biggs to be in, to move forward. I stood on that because you want them to. You know, that gives us a chance, you know, period. You know, you don't want the one who taking pictures with Nearly is LaShawn. You know, with LaShawn. Denise Cousins, don't even give them the satisfaction of seeing your adverse reactions. Stay focused. Yeah, I know for Flint. Flint makes sparks again. Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you, Denise. Thank you. And so I'm showing everyone, like, they get that fifth vote. Man, y'all, listen. If you need a new roof, if you need a furnace, if you need new indoor plumbing, if you want to know about community block grant money, or you got a new business and you're an entrepreneur, if you need help on your water bill, you need help on your taxes, anything that you need, because they helping themselves. I'm telling you guys that this is the problem. And I'm putting this up there so you can see, not just what I am, you know, I'm giving you proof, because the first thing say, oh, that's just not true. I put it up there. I give you something you can see, screenshot, however you want to do it. He get that fifth vote. Everything in yellow is approved, and only thing they need is 5 votes. 5 votes. I'm telling you, it's a money game for them. They don't care about y'all because they kick y'all out of council chambers. I started doing the list, and if we start doing this list of everybody been put out, repeat offenders being put out: Arthur Woodson, Kawana Mack, Mary Davis, Beverly Biggs, Carol. Has Carol been put out? Stephanie, Sister Audrey Muhammad, Stephanie Rogers.
Definitely, yeah.
You had Jay Nino was been put out. You had Rich Jones, and you have to say nothing. They used to put him out.
Billy Dantzler.
Yeah, Billy Dantzler put out.
She's been put out.
Yeah, she's been put out. Michael Clark, you've been put out too. I mean, we can keep going with the list of people. Miss Ann Smith, she's been put out.
Gladys got put out with her dog.
Yeah, Gladys did get put out with her dog. You and your dog get out, Gladys. They threw her out.
Yes.
Right. They threw her out. They put out Sandy Odell. She has been put out, I don't know how many times. And I can keep going. The lady who was sleeping in her car, who came to ask Liddell that she needed a roof. Yes. She was put out and was on the walker. Carl Lewis has been put out. I mean, Jedediah, they threw his ass out of here so quick. No, just get out of here. They threw him out. You know, get out of here. You coming here stirring up stuff.
Name Lachey, yes, the dog too, girl. The dog too. Her and the dog.
Oh, Miss Liz got through, and the beautiful Elizabeth Taylor got thrown out.
Yeah.
They got thrown out. You know. So is any results yet?
Nothing.
Okay, y'all. I don't know. Look, polls
I
closed
don't know what
at
y'all
8
are
o'clock.
doing.
Show
What
us,
is going on in
show
Flint?
us
Oh
where
my,
the other municipalities are at who got
oh
some
my
green.
Yeah,
Y'all
we're
God.
put
at 0. We're at 0 right now. As Michael Clark said, what's taking them so
Ugh,
long to count 150 ballots?
man,
this is
look,
insane.
149 for LaShawn, no 148 for LaShawn, one for AC Dumas, one for Beverly Hills. Listen,
It's
this is
almost 10
crazy.
o'clock. The polls have been
Yeah,
closed since 8. What are we
yeah.
doing?
Yeah, Kermit been put out. Y'all put in that chat, everybody been thrown out. We have Winters thrown out.
Kermit, Winters,
Mickey been
and
put out.
Mickey.
Mickey been put out because he had
Mickey
that
been false put
dropout.
out too, because she one time she just said his name out of nowhere.
Right.
And
I
it
mean,
was like he's not even in there. He was in the hall.
part.
I
Beverly's
will never forget
grandson,
that.
Frankie and Omar have been thrown out.
Lord.
Only people that been
I believe Sister Audrey, I believe somebody else had a daughter or a child that was there, and they got put out too.
Lawana Terry and her daughter got thrown out.
Yes, that's who it
Lawana
was.
Terry. Yes. And so
Baby
we can
doll.
keep going. We can keep going.
Mhm.
You know, they did put out Mrs. Rita Stanley, Woodrow, former Mayor Stanley.
Jasmine's been put out. Is
Jasmine Stanley been put out.
Is Jasmine usually
and
here?
they put her out. I mean, it is, and we can keep going, and this is the sad part. And so, why this election is important, that we got to stop the cliques and come together. Mays was thrown out. I was thrown out. Jerry Winfrey Carter was thrown out.
Oh, wait, we have results. We have some things that come in. Sorry.
Oh, read them.
Go ahead, producer. Landon. Can you see him?
I
gotta refresh that page, so let's see what
refresh that one, because I think mine has
we do have some results in, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Anticipation is killing some of
Rich
y'all.
Jones has got 4, LaShawn Johnson 73, Beverly Biggs 56, AC Dumas 28. That's 161. This must be, I don't know how they have this.
Is that the absentee?
That seems like it's at the polls.
Or would that be okay?
Hold on.
So at 9:47, we received the first results. So we're looking at Rich Jones with 4 at 2 point, we'll round up 5%. LaShawn Johnson with 45% at 73 votes. Beverly Biggs Levy with 56 votes in at 34.8%, and AC Dumas at 17.9% of the votes. 17.4, percent of the votes at 28. So yes, at 161.
Let me see vote types.
Yeah.
So these are election days. So election day. So for election day, LaShawn got 73 votes. Beverly Biggs got 56. AC Dumas got 28. And Rich got 4. Votes cast 161 votes. So absentee ballots are not in yet.
Okay.
They are not in. So these are the votes that's going to the, and that would make sense because they were very low, as we just heard Woodson tell us about how slow and the precincts were very slow. So that would be for 4 precincts. There were 2 precincts located at Foss Avenue or the Aldrich Avery Activity Center. There was 2 precincts there, and in one location. Then they had Burston, and they had Burston, and then they had oh my God, the one on Iowa Street, Iowa and Davison.
Let me pull up your.
So I will say this: absentee ballots makes a difference. So let's hold on to see. Yeah. Can you blow that up? So, and on mine, so to repeat, if you are just joining us, so these are the voting, the type of votes. These are precincts. So we have Sean Johnson with 73. Her getting 45% of the vote. Beverly Biggs getting 34% of the vote. AC Dumas getting 17% of the vote. And Rich Jones, 2% of the vote. So that's what's in so far. So we know by probably 11 o'clock news, they'll have the results.
Yeah, I think we said 11, but that was giving it grace if
St. Andrews.
there was a
Thank you,
bigger
Jasmine. St. Andrews.
Yeah, that's what I had mentioned. I had said St. Andrews. I'm trying to pull up the list of the precincts now. So with these numbers coming in so slow, and I listen, I'm representing from the folks that are from the outside, who has worked campaigns, who has done, from the gubernatorial aspect and from the gubernatorial side in Tennessee, someone who's done campaigns on the U.S. Congressional side. Why is this taking so long for Flint? Like what?
It's just always, and I'm gonna tell you something, and it could be any way. Absentee ballots can turn something. I remember my race came in, my numbers were very close, and then when absentee ballots came in, it really changed. So, and I didn't do any count at the time. I was through, my thighs hurt so much I didn't want to do nothing but have an alcoholic beverage and some food. And they had actually, according to Dominique, it may not be official until late Wednesday. What? They got but a handful. So Sherry Allen said, according to Dominique Clemens, it might not be official until late Wednesday or Thursday because of absentee ballot. Man,
no.
States is counted.
No. For one ward?
And it is the ward that has the least amount of voters, and it's the old ward, so it's not even that many people.
No. Sherry, where he say that at?
Somebody probably call him. Yeah, that's. Listen, if you are trying to refresh that page, y'all got to go completely out of it and go back.
Let's try to let's do a hard refresh on that, because no.
Well, he doesn't say that. He want his someone is probably called to speak to him.
No, I would like Art to revisit the time when during the last election when he did show up to, I believe it was either the chamber or precinct 10, when he did show up. I don't know if y'all remember in the chat when there were issues and Art was there physically addressing, like, something's not right. And he did speak to several individuals who seemed to be, I guess it just seemed discombobulated. I would love it if Art charge your stuff, child. Because I actually would like to hear him revisit when he had to physically go and find out what was going on, because I know that there were issues with the counts, I believe, with Jan Marie during that time. All of that stuff, because I remember him physically being there. He went live. They were upset about him going live and him reviewing what was happening while he was there, which is why he was so excited to see that it seemed to be a little bit more streamlined this time, because his last situation was not like this.
So Art stays on her and a lot of other people, because you don't voice your opinions out there. Art has been on her, and Davina and I have had some very uncomfortable conversations. And we see she has made some change, but it's some other things. So until this comes out, we got to look at their strategy. We have to look at their strategy as they come out. I don't know how, and that's not a lot of absentee voters. You feed them in through a machine.
At all. That's not a lot of votes. Like,
right. This is not.
When I have to be honest, when you broke this down to me earlier, it is abysmal.
Yeah. I told you this.
That. It is abysmal from the outside. And I'm not even in a big city where I live.
Hold on, Sheena. There was a fake voter discovered. That's what Philip John. Wait, anybody know about that? Listen, if anybody knows about, look, we're gonna take some calls. So let's
Mark
put it out and put it in,
Hutchison, it's
and
and
somebody put it in the
go ahead.
chat. You can call if you want to call in and make a statement. 810-471-7849. And if you can put it in the chat, everyone, call in if it's something that you have to say without saying 9 million swear words. So 810-471-7849.
Mark
Once
Hutchison,
again,
and
go ahead.
Mark, at Sheena B, in Flint instance, people think the clerk is their friend because she is nice. It was the same with the previous clerk. The clerk in Flint is historically horrendous, and it is accepted. I have to say, I have given my own harsh critique of the clerk here for not knowing her own power. And I don't think that many people are aware of the power of the clerk. The clerk, if you ask me, if she knows what she's doing, could probably be the most powerful person in your city if she's doing it right.
You're correct.
Davina does not know her power, and she does not stand in it effectively at all. And I feel like that has come to the detriment of the voter and the residents on multiple occasions where she has not served as a moderate contender within arguments on the council floor and standing her ground to represent in a neutral stance the residents as it pertains to what her job duties are supposed to be. So, Mark, I agree. I've given my harsh critique of the clerk.
Hold on. I want to get to why is LaShawn leading? And I'm going to tell y'all this. There were people she had 3 people who were knocking doors relentlessly. 3. And I shared with both camps that those people received Tom Denon, he may be on here, but he said, hey, they knocked at my door twice in one day and then dropped lit. And so knocking doors, which someone had said, how do you get to someone when they're not on social media? You got to go to the doors. And I have shared it because people would contact. She had 3 people, I'm not going with what they said, the type of people that they were, but who was knocking doors for her and dropping lit. So it's like branding, marketing. If you keep seeing her literature, they didn't been at your door 7 or 8 times and dropped you. They've mailed you something in the mail. They've knocked at your door 4 or 5 times. You've got 2 or 3 mailings, been at your door, drop lit. Then you're probably going to get that. So hold on. Hello.
Yes. Am I calling to the show?
You are. Hey, thank you for calling. Caller, what's your name and where you're calling from?
This is Anthony calling from Houston.
Okay, well, what's on your mind?
Listen, y'all have had me on walking on eggshells all day with this election. And to be able to see all the good women that Jedediah and Jon Snow and others that put out there is capturing the coverage, and I'm hoping and praying that I don't have nightmares with that damn loudspeaker of noise that we heard at these election polls.
Oh, it was bad. It was real bad. I went to the polls. It was bad.
Exactly. I'm hoping I don't have nightmares about it. But I want to thank you, Councilwoman Burns, for the job that you continue to do. You're doing a great job. Even with all the criticism and with all the extra drama that's going on, keep doing what you're doing. And thank you, Sheena, for standing by her side and keeping the liquor coming forward when those nights get rough and those times get hard. She needs a friend like you to stay by that side. So I appreciate everything that y'all do. But listen, it looked like it's going to be this Beverly Biggs and Johnson.
Yeah.
And we now have to get together and get behind this Biggs to do whatever we need to do to push her over the top come Congress. And everybody have to come together, put our differences to the side, understand that we have one common goal, and that's to make sure that Mayor Leader doesn't have 5 people to rubber stamp his hidden agenda, but to make sure the people of Flint get everything that they need, and we need Miss Beverly Biggs behind that third ward seat to make it happen.
Yes, and I agree. And I appreciate you calling in to share that. We do. We got to, whoever the top 2, and Beverly or Dumas they're going to come in. It looks like they'll probably come in second, but I don't know what's taking so long with getting the absentee ballots. That's just ludicrous. But we're going to have to get behind whoever, because it has to be for the people. I agree.
And you know what? And you got to remember, the last election, I think Dumas did better with the absentee ballots as well. If we can research it and go back, but I think he did better with the absentee ballots. So we might have to kind of look and see. We might have a little edge coming there too. So I mean, it's something interesting to see what happens. But I think, if I can remember, he did better than absentee ballots in the last election.
He did, and he did it when he ran against Quincy in the primary. He took first place. So so we do have to wait to see. But thank you for calling in, Caller. I appreciate your support. You have a blessed evening. Bye-bye. Okay, the number is on there. If you would like to call in to share your opinion and have a little chit chat, the number is 810-471-7849. We can throw it in the chat.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. We got a big update right now.
Okay.
Big update. Boom. Check that out.
I can't see it.
Oh, okay. Rich Jones at 21 votes. We have LaShawn Johnson at 162 votes with 31.6% of the votes. Beverly Biggs Levy at 165, and AC Dumas at 165 votes, for a total of 513 votes that are in. So right now, Beverly Biggs Levy and AC Dumas are tied ahead of LaShawn Johnson.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches out.
Let's go. Listen, keep it going, guys. Oh my God, I am praying. If we can just get
I got a caller. Are you there? Okay. I'm sorry, we just got an update. I got an update. So the results are caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I am Bishop Devin Williams. I'm calling from Macon, Georgia.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Macon, Georgia.
I'm doing just fine, Miss Burns. Hello, Miss Cena.
Hello, how are you?
I am calling today because...
Hold on, Bishop. Dennis Pfeiffer, Councilman Pfeiffer said 100% in. Dennis, you better send me something to verify that.
Call in, Dennis.
Right? I'm going to need some, because I can't do my... Okay, go ahead, Bishop. See, y'all, this can really turn really quickly. Quick. Go ahead. Oh, hallelujah.
I know, this is the best part. I love our election night. Come on, let's go.
I am so excited. I'm so excited, but I'm vexed at the same time because Flint has gone through so much. And I'm reminded of a saying that George Washington said, that there is no progress without struggle. And I believe that, Ms. Burns, you guys are doing such a great job with advocating. Despite what people say, don't let them discourage you, Ms. Burns and Sheena. Y'all just keep doing what you're doing, because you got to irritate the devil.
Come on, say it again.
Hello?
Your trail.
Right. Come on.
I'm just here to tell y'all today to keep irritating the hell out of the devil. Watch y'all's results turn around, because God has something for y'all. And I'm praying for Flint. I'm rooting for Flint. And Flint does have good people, despite what the naysayers say.
Come on now.
This election is going to prove that God is still in control. I love you guys, and I just wanted to be an encouragement for with you today.
Oh, thank you, Bishop. Look, thank you for calling in. You have a blessed one.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
I'm sorry. I did want to say that on the screen it does say 100% precincts reporting 100%. So
they're okay. So they're gonna count those. So that's what they're saying, that it may take 2 or 3 days. They're gonna hand count those ballots. Guaranteed. Carol, okay. I am on the thing right now. We're doing the show. Bye.
Tell Carol, come on. Okay, Dennis, thank you.
Right.
Totally missed that whole little 100% right there. Sorry.
Right. So listen, for right now, with what we have, y'all look. Let me go back and pull this up myself. Yeah, what we have, that is in. So don't nobody call in right now, because look, I'm busy. So they are considered to be the unofficial results, which they will go back and they will actually. Now, I didn't have this up on my darn screen. Didn't I just say don't nobody call?
Who is it? I guess go on in. So what you need? Who we looking for?
Hey, caller, you're live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Miss
Good. How you doing?
Miss J.
The results say 100% in.
They do, but we got a tie, so they're not official. They're the unofficial, which means they're going to have to hand count each ballot and see if there were any mistakes. So when Councilman Mays had ran years ago, him and Anita Brown, I believe they ended up having to count them. Yeah.
Well, that's not why I called. It popped up while I was calling. Because I always got a request. I want you to do a show about splitting votes when you get a chance.
Okay.
And get people to understand why that's not a good thing. But I'm rooting for you guys, and I hope they count the votes right correctly.
Hold on, Miss Richburg. Hold on. I got that up on the screen now. Okay, bye-bye. Look, okay, listen, everybody, look. Don't nobody, y'all, I'm busy. Go ahead, Miss Richburg. You gotta. Hallelujah. Okay. Come on now.
You really need to explain that. Because if you're only going to get 10 votes, there's no need to running.
That part.
That's very true.
That part.
And Mark Hutchison made that point earlier.
Okay. So
Mark Hutchison made that point earlier.
So I was trying to pull up and okay, let me get back to this because I want to pull it because it'll go into depth. So the other call that came on this phone said it's 165 Dumas, 165 Beverly Biggs. And Carl knows this is not a praise break. Man, it is for me.
We got
so
that's Lamille is crying her double beef nachos right now.
So Beverly Biggs and AC Dumas are both 3 votes ahead of LaShawn Johnson. Total votes cast 513 votes, 100% reporting. These are the unofficial votes, but you only take the top 2, so if they're both at 165 and it stays, it is Beverly Biggs living and AC Dumas on to the general. Say, look, Lord, we've been trying to catch a break.
That's all we needed.
Trying to catch a break.
That's all we needed, and I pray that if they can do a recount, that
they won't find discrepancies.
There are no discrepancies, and that they go ahead and get your snack, Christine Leach, because we're going to review. That they go ahead and push this forward into the general with AC Dumas and Beverly Biggs Levy. That will be phenomenal.
So Mark Hutchison, you're going to get off my negative side because me and you're going to have it out, okay? Let me have my moment, okay? Thank you. Okay?
Man.
Listen, I'm telling you, Mark, you back up, okay? Back up. So there are some things that are happening behind the scenes that y'all don't know about, okay?
It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot. We can't talk about it. I can't. Okay, so let me have my moment, please. Thank you, sir. Please, thank you. So after they count these votes, but look, and I'm agreeing, if something could happen, but these are digitally done. They've changed their processes. They've changed their procedure. The county clerk, I'm gonna wait for him. And when it's not counted like by hand, they fed those in this morning. Martin Neely is desperate. Yeah. Now put that up. Now you said a word right there. Neely is desperate. His career is on the line.
Mark, I need you to do me a favor. Screenshot your comment. I need you to hold on to that. I'm dead serious. Screenshot that and hold on to it.
So can somebody screenshot Mark's comments with his look? I can shoot. Wait,
Mark, screenshot your comment. It is May at 10:11 on May 6th. That's what you said.
Why is this phone behind? Don't nobody else call me. And I mean that. Not tonight. Not private phone.
Mark, I need you to hold on to that. We'll revisit it later.
Listen, We can now take. Now I got some unofficial, but almost official. So that other call on this phone was a good call. That was a good call. So just say, Monique, Ms. Burns, will the third ward seats stay empty until general election? We are 4-4, and I'm not putting who they want in that seat. And I know I feel very comfortable saying that look, the senior councilwoman, Jerry Winfrey-Carter, is not going to do that either. I can feel confident that Dennis Pfeiffer is not going to do it either. I feel very confident saying that Councilman Jarrett is not going to do that either, because we want fairness. We want the people to win. I want the people of the city of Flint to finally have a win so we can have 5 solid votes. We can move the people's agenda forward. Not, which I showed y'all, they own agenda. They got their own agendas. Something with the dance of David. Julian said, let's celebrate with the dance of David. Come on now. Listen. Oh, y'all know how nervous I've been. I went to bed at 5. Some was back up at 7.
I got one for you, Miss Burns, so you know.
What you say?
I said I got one for you if you don't mind, if I could take 4 seconds from you.
You got it, producer.
You got it.
Here we go. Hold on, y'all. I got everybody in the chat. This is for y'all. Hold up. Took too long.
Can we get a little bit more of that?
Why you stop it?
I just did 4. Oh, well, I can do longer, but I just did the 4 seconds. I didn't want to take up the. You know.
I'm Southern Baptist. I was ready.
He gonna cut off that part. Look, Julian said, "That's it." Come on now. Listen, Landon. So listen,
I'm a Southern girl.
We've been dragged, thrown
Don't
out,
tease me with that.
out, cussed out. We've been cussed out, dragged, thrown out. Look, all I got is water, y'all. Look, here's my water. Look at JWC.
Yeah, water.
Yeah, Dennis Pfeiffer. Yes, there will be a recount.
Yes, there will be a recount.
And you know, Neely over there pacing. He cussing everybody out right now.
Oh,
then
yes,
he's going to one of the process.
You know that bald head, that Tommy Pickles is in there throwing a tantrum right about now.
Listen, let that vote stay the way it is. I'm telling you, watch the people start running from Neely, okay? Watch them start running. So that's why they said that when Sherry Allen said that it may take up to 2 to 3 days, because they will have a recount. They're going to have to. Because, I mean, if I was her, I would challenge those results too. I would. And I always tell people, and I think automatically that it is to be challenged. It was within like 5 votes.
Yeah.
I think it's automatic that it's done. So the only good part is this is digital. And so they shouldn't change that much. Y'all know we in Flint. Y'all know we in Flint. And for those of y'all who sit up and think, me and Davina do not always get along. We do not. I tell her how I feel. She has made those changes. I do talk to also the county clerk. Him and I are very good friends. Dennis Pfeiffer, the clerk, will be in hot water. Dennis, like I can't keep up with the little hot scalding water. Look, something else is going on, no fight. Something else. Look, y'all hit that like button. Hit that like button.
Please hit the like button.
Look, if y'all want to call in,
share.
So how fast before Christopher Martin is trying to save Jonathan to have Jonathan at his church? Look, soon, you know that. So I want to say a pre-congratulations to Mrs. Beverly Biggs Levy and to Mr. A.C. Dumas, both at 165. I want to send both of them a pre-congratulations.
Congratulations.
I want to send that to them. Mark, you don't know what kind of, me and her have some serious ones. Yeah, and everything ain't for social media with me. I'm business. Everything is not social media, because these are real people's lives. As you heard Woodson, and Woodson has been on it. You know, we may not agree, man, but we do agree quite often. But when it comes to voting, I don't play with that. When you cast your vote, I want your vote counted. She has made the proper things that need to be done. And so he was down there. Woodson ain't gonna lie for nobody. He just ain't gonna do that. Y'all hear him when they're telling me I look like an airline student and he don't like the way I vote. Y'all hear him saying he don't like the way Dennis vote. And then when he's, Jonathan, man, why you vote for that? He don't take nobody's side. County clerk, I have a different relationship with him. Him and I is very business. I enjoy Dominic. He's our youngest clerk and I believe our first Black county clerk that we've had. And so there's a balance with them. I deal with both of them. So, but it is a what do you call it? Just a thank you. You know, look, I can have a cocktail. Have a cocktail. So, Angela, in that time, will they demand a recount if the numbers are this close in the primary? Yes, I think it's automatically done if they're like within 5. I believe it's automatically done. Absolutely. So listen, if you want to call in, you call in now. The number is 810-471-7849. The number is 810-471-7849. My stalker knows that I sent them 15 scriptures on Saturday night. I called them back, left voice message, played Mary Weir, I played Kurt Frank, I played Hezekiah Walker. I gave him a whole gospel concert. Matter of fact, he texted me back and told me, don't put plan on his DAMM phone. Don't call him no more. That's what my stalker, after, he had threatened to beat my A and do all this other stuff. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, Diane.
Well, I will say, I think that it's important to understand that, now that we see that Dumas and Mrs. Biggs-Levy have a clear lead. The margin is small. I think it is very important that the community understands how important it is to see a strategy from them and to ask them to be clear and concise in what their goals are for the third ward going forward, so that the voters can have a very informed decision and and feel confident in how they enter their seat as council members for the next year until 2026.
And I want this to be clear too. If it is Beverly Biggs, which right now it is, and AC Dumas, I am not getting involved in that election because I want them to work on their own merit. I have said I want both of them to make it through, and I said before, if they make, I'm out of it. Yeah, I'm gonna go somewhere on vacation.
I just want their messaging to be clear and concise, and I pray that they are able to reach the residents on a level that I want them to blow it out of the park on multiple levels. This is a W that Flinton has needed for so long, and I am so happy that you don't have to really choose between the lesser of two evils. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel confident that either one of them will do very well. That's just my take.
Yeah, Padroni, Neely won't get involved. The only way Neely would get involved, I don't think either side likes him. And he's at a loss with this one. He can't penetrate those two. I mean, it's no. And for those who say, oh, well, Beverly, you can't, Beverly's team is not going to deal with him. And Liddell and them will never like her. They will not. Beverly came so hard on their head, it was no joke. She came after Judy. She came after Liddell. She came after Candace. She came after Leon. She came hard. She came with some titanium gloves on punching.
She did. And you know what I think was a missed opportunity for her in this? I feel like when they kept going after her for, she attacked us and brought Depends and a bra. I love the fact that she took that moment and she turned that messaging into, you only paid attention to me when I personally attacked you. Yeah. Now, all these other times I came up to this lectern and this podium, whatever, all the other times I came up to the microphone and I spoke on issues that affect the community in its entirety, You didn't even look at me.
No.
You didn't address me. You didn't address the issues that I brought forth. Now, when I brought forth some adult diapers and a bra, all of a sudden you have so much to say. I wish she had leaned into that so much more. And I hope she actually takes that this time and makes, I actually want her to lean into that.
Yeah.
I actually would go ahead and lean into it, because that's the only time you all pay attention to me, is when I personally attacked you. And that proves that they are for themselves. They weren't for the community.
We got to put together a list of everybody been thrown out. I mean,
oh gosh, yes.
We have got to, because one thing with them, they don't take accountability for nothing. We even got blamed for Judy's choice. The guy said he didn't like her on his Facebook page. He didn't like her and called her the worst council person ever. Then she gets in budget hearing. Oh, my ethics board person was such a great pick. He left out that meeting giving us 2 middle fingers high up in the air. And I'm like, I mean, he did. And these are not my middle fingers. He was like, and I'm like, and then she thought that was the good pick.
Yeah. Then she stood by him still. Yeah.
So the day that whoever is between Beverly and Dumas, y'all, we serving refreshments. The hostess with the mostest gonna give donuts and punch. Because you know that bothered them when I was, why is she serving donuts? One, I don't eat donuts. No, I don't. No, I don't, but I'm gonna serve, I want to serve, the people, because it's gonna be a new day. Your voice will be heard, your concerns will be heard. We can find out where the money is. We can appropriate more money to getting roofs, to getting the needs that the people. We can do that. We can do that.
Right.
So yeah. So listen, the phone line, if you want to call in, you can call it 810-471-7849. Y'all drop that back in the chat. 810-471-7849.
Okay, I got an update.
What's the update?
Okay, I'm gonna hit it this time. I had to make everybody happy, so I got one that'll make you happy right now.
Oh Lord.
Everywhere that I go, when my feet shall trod, I will possess it. I got it. Everywhere that I go, everywhere that I be, everywhere that I move, everywhere that I walk.
Oh, we forgot to do the mic drop once that happened too.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Hey, AK!
Hey, AK!
How you know we was having praise team up in here?
So where are we now? We tied now.
So it automatically pushes us to doing an automatic recount. I believe it's within 5 votes. So within 5 votes, they automatically recount. It's not a lot to recount. Depends on how long they want to. I mean, you can count them votes in an hour. Everybody's 3 times. They will have people they will be able to choose people to watch them being counted. Then what they will do is, have the results. They're looking at discrepancies, if something was wrong, if a ballot was misread. But now these ballots all go through machines. All of them go through machines. And with them going through machines, it makes it for fewer errors. And so then after this, you have, they'll re-announce them. I will be calling tomorrow. I've got some questions for the county clerk myself, because I don't have nobody carry my water for me. I do it myself.
She does.
Y'all know me. That who was out?
Johnson is out, and it's the time.
It's with it being digital, and I will tell you, the machines were certified, the race was looked at. I had complaints, I stressed my issues, and some other things I can't even talk about. So the integrity of this race was really, really important. Okay, can't talk about everything right now, but it was really important because y'all know I'm a share and tell it when I can. So
But the votes, I'm saying what we see now, is it going to change though?
it, I don't think it would change much because
Yeah.
we're not hand counting. This is not like the pregnant Chad. These are digitally, they're put into the machines. The machines read them. The machines are checked over by the state. The state of Michigan has been coming, in case y'all didn't know, been coming down to our elections. If there was something sketchy about this election, Arthur Woodson would have, y'all know he would have went live and told it all and been in the person's face that he thought was doing something wrong. You right there. No, how you doing? He would have did that. He would have did it. So, to have that, because y'all know I had said, I'm not being, if they serve in disrespect, I'm out of there. If you're disrespectful to any of us, I'm gone. I don't care. Won't be no, you're being ignorant. No, bye. A point of order, a lack of decorum. I'm not putting up with it anymore. I mean, literally, people don't get that. And me and JWC talked about this. The stress afterward, you carry it with you sometimes for days, because you want to, what you want to do, you can't do. And we have not put our hands on anybody. Okay. We have not said, like Congress said, meet me outside.
I think you touched on this one time.
Amen.
It's one thing to see it on video.
Yeah.
But it's another thing to be in it and sitting next to it in the same room. It hits different.
Yeah.
I'm sure it does.
It does. And people don't get that when people are seeing this. And it's so much more. And I try to bring a condensed portion to share with people. Flint is a strange animal. I mean, it's, and I've lived in Chicago and went back and forth. I've lived in Saginaw. I've lived in Flushing. I've lived other places to where I didn't see any government like this. So if this is the day that where we finally say the corruptness is gone, I'm going to celebrate. Okay. So let's take today as a small victory and stand on it, pray on it, lay on it, dance on it, praise the Lord for it, because these results could have been different. They could have been different. And so we got AC Dumas and Beverly Biggs both at 165. I'm okay with that. I'm so okay with that. Y'all don't even understand. I'm so okay with that. Right. I might visit one of them dispensaries. And y'all know I ain't been to no one. But
oh, Lord. Here she go.
I know, right? So this
Here she go.
I appreciate your support and what you do and making the videos, but I want to talk about that picture you got. That I ain't like that picture that you put up there, man.
Lord have mercy.
That one with the Dale that laughed. I'm like, man, I can't know. He could have found where I think I had this jacket on too that night when I ran into
that. JWC, yes.
When I went to battle.
Tom now.
I'm going to have to send you some. And it's funny today, people they was like, what's that? I'm like, look, I'm considering braids. I'm not putting my hair up anymore. I was like combing my hair out and brushing it out. I'm like, I ain't got time. Let me just put a hat on. I'm like, So look, because y'all know me, I like to put my hair up and just put a clip in it. But you got to do all that curling. You know how much time that takes? I ain't got time for that. But look, I'm celebrating tonight, 165. And to Beverly Biggs, Levy, and AC Dumas, congratulations. Congratulations. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Very active in the community.
Yeah.
Like at the council
meeting.
Decades. So that's a good choice. I'm happy. We're gonna sleep good tonight, honey.
That part. Well, I'm gonna have a martini or some scotch. So.
Nina, we'll talk. Y'all have a good one. All right?
You have a good one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Listen, y'all, thank you, Billy, to all the third ward voters who showed out in the rain.
Yes.
We appreciate you. And
thank you.
Just look, LaShawn, you threw your name in there, but you should have went separately. Couldn't support you.
Miss Trunchbull. You should have sat down, Miss Trunchbull.
Yeah. So congratulations to AC Dumas and Beverly Biggs Levy. Y'all rock. Beverly, I should have got some chicken when I left there because I went to Popeyes afterwards and I ain't getting no chicken there.
Yes,
had me nervous
so
all day. So
listen. We listen, no sleep. We've been going back and forth. What will happen if the results go this way, this way, this way? Oh my gosh, this is like a huge relief. Flint needed this W, and I love it.
So listen, y'all need to be hitting that like button. Hit that like button. And to the moderator, Patrick G, we appreciate you. And Landon been on y'all. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Man, do y'all know what we can do to right shift this? What we can do for those who felt that Councilman Mays was done wrong. He was removed for 30 days. He was removed for 90 days. I was removed for 30 days. When the people didn't get money for home repair, when the people were thrown out the council chamber, when the people were gave one warning and said, but I didn't say nothing, that's your second warning. When we can right shift this ship, do you know what it means? Woo.
You better tell.
Hey. Listen, Shane Landon, anything you want to say?
No, I'm good. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Y'all already know, support your local media station, urban news station, Flint. We got 2 studios in Flint. So, make sure you check us out, like, share, and subscribe.
So usually this is where Sheena comes in and says where he's located at.
Hendrick Studios, located in downtown Flint, 5th Ward.
And then these are some of the things that, now I can't see that, so you're going to have to say what you got on that flyer.
Oh, Lord. Look at Hendrick Studios, photography and videography. He does podcasts, events, weddings, corporate video photography, and all. Please contact Landon Hendricks. Call him at 810-308-6661. Again, please call Landon for all of your photography and videography needs at 810-308-6661.
Yeah. And so y'all heard it. I appreciate
Hendrick Studios.
I want to say
Hendrick Studios.
Look, she liked the name. And I want to say this for Councilman Mays, who in every election he was always so deeply involved. And he was friends with both AC Dumas, and he was friends with AC Dumas for his, I think, entire life. Literally. He was friends with Beverly Biggs Levy, and they were both very Councilman Eric Mays was very dear to both of them. And tonight he would be proud. He would be proud. He would be proud. And to my colleagues, Senior Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter, and to Councilman Dennis Pfeiffer, and to Councilman Jonathan Jarrett. There is hope. 3rd Ward is showing up for the 4 of us to make things right for the people. This is for the people. And this is a good moment. This is a good moment, and I want to say this, people we can't rest now. We still got a couple more days to see what they gonna do with them votes. But people can watch how they're counting them. Arthur Woodson will probably be in there as one of the people watching, because y'all know he can't help himself, and he's a good poll watcher. And he will be each person will be able to have a person in there to watch, to see the votes. They will have that opportunity to point who they want, and they should. And so to watch the process. Arthur Woodson did a great job, and I want to thank him for going in there and being able to share with us. And as you see, these were live results, and as they came in, we shared them with you together. And thank you for joining me and Sheena Beckton and Landon Hendricks, who is our producer. And I want to send a big shout out to Mayor Dr. Karen Weaver for her platform, for having the platform to make sure that topics like these can go out and we can do the honor of showing the results. I didn't call her back. I was supposed to call her back earlier today. But then I had another call in. I was talking to somebody. So I want to send a big shout out to her because Dr. Weaver has created a platform, and her platform, and combining ours together, we can bring you shows like this along with Sheena Beckton as a host, so that we are meeting the needs, and not just our our views, but the views of everyone. Um, Dennis Pfeiffer, y'all look. Don't nobody call me this weekend if y'all see somebody saying somebody took Dennis Pfeiffer's Facebook page. Don't call me because I done been through this before. Because he might be.
I need to ride in that Tesla truck.
Right. Do not call me. Because they was like, you gotta call Dennis. Someone's taking over his. I said, no, they did not. And they said, yes, they have. I said, yeah, I know. Because Dennis has a very dry humor, y'all. He just does. And as we sit there together, people think that we all aren't close. Just like, Dennis, you called me out and I forgot that. Oh, there goes Tanya getting off the car. Every time she's a police car, she sees something, she's going to get out and be nosy. That's right, I am. But anyway, people need to know that I think
Dennis, she does. She gives it to me.
I do. And
what's
when you
this
look
big old hole they dig in the ground? Hold on, y'all. Excuse me.
Oh,
Tanya, we on the phone. What?
It was a gas station at the corner of Sloan and right next to Rube's. Way back in the 20s, it was a gas station. And so I did do that, y'all. But I was on the phone with you and somebody else. Because I care what's going on in my community. What?
No! What just happened? What?
Being arrested for what?
No.
Oh, this is nasty. Y'all, Sheena, I'm gonna mute for just a second
while
you talk. Let me make a call.
Yes.
Sheena, Michael Clark put in the comments, said for disturbing the peace.
For disturbing. Oh my gosh. Is he live anywhere, y'all? Hold on. Let me get to my page. Okay, wait. He's live. He is live on Facebook. Yep. He is live on Facebook. I'm gonna mute if. Hold on. Let me see.
Well, while they're both muted, we want to tell you thank you for tuning in to Urban News Station. We're going to take a quick commercial break just to play a quick clip. We'll be right back.
Tanya, they're calling you now. Okay.
So how the hell somebody get pulled over for disturbing the peace? What's the who? Is it a sergeant there?
Because they knew he was in the car. I don't know, Tanya. I don't know. This is Tanya Burns. I don't know. They don't want to give us their names. You asked for a sergeant to come. You have 75 and what? And Pearson Road. 75 and Pearson Road? Yeah. That's not even Flint. They're out of their district. If they're I-75, that's not Morris Town. Yeah, right here. That's not even their district. I'm going to need you to handle this. Like right now.
Yeah.
I gotta go now.
All right, friends. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you. As you can see, duty calls. And I want you guys to please like, share, subscribe. Tanya's on it right now. Christine, Jess, I totally understand it. Listen, guys, and this is just me talking as Sheena, as an outsider. If those of you who are able, please make sure that you are supporting Jed. Okay? Please make sure that you are supporting Jedediah. Those of us who are outsiders, who actually do care, who actually do take the time. Time is far more valuable than money. The time to show up and do what needs to be done. Please make sure that you are supporting those who are trying. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut it off. I'm going to let Landon take this out, but please make sure that you subscribe, tap that notification bell, smash that thumbs up button, tip our producer, $ Hendrick Studios, which is also located in downtown Flint, Michigan. Landon, do you have anything? There we go. It's right here on the screen.
No, I was going to say, I was going to go ahead and take it out whenever you were ready.
Yes, I am ready. B. Marie, thank you so much. And whomever else can safely assist, please do so. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and drop the intro, and we're going to be on out of here. So definitely like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next week.